Happy Friday. Welcome into Morning JOX here on JOX 94.5. Conrad Van Order, Damian Mitchell here to get you started off with your weekend. We have made it through another week. And as far as weekends go in the sports world, I know we just got done with March Madness. We had a lot of fun there, a lot of great weekends there. But here in the city of Birmingham specifically, this is the most jam-packed weekend in recent memory in terms of sporting events you have going on around the state of Alabama. So last night at the Finnick there downtown, you had your kickoff, your home kickoff for the Birmingham Stallions. Skip Holtz, a number of players there, doing meet and greets, talking to the fans, rubbing elbows with the great people of Birmingham as they prepare tonight for their home opener over at Protective Stadium against the Arlington Renegades. Damian, how much do we hate them?
On a scale of 1 to 10, they're probably about a 9.5. I hate Houston a little bit more because that goes back to the USFL days. I know they were the Gamblers at that time. But, the Roughnecks, they're probably still number one. But as far as hate goes, I'm not a big Arlington guy, not a big Renegades guy. I mean,
why would you be?
Exactly. I mean, the more popular Stoops brother will be down here. So, I mean, I put it like this. I'll be happy, once the Stallions whoop up on him, and then he takes it, whenever he talks to his brother, and it's like, hey, man, how's Kentucky looking? Y'all need an offensive coordinator? Listen, I like Louis Perez. Appreciate everything he did for us for the 2 weeks he was a Birmingham Iron guy.
That's right.
But, it's time for a beat now tonight.
All right, so Birmingham Stallions, they're taking on the Kentucky of the UFL tonight. And the Arlington Renegades. I guess that's what we're gonna call them from here on.
I'm here for.
That's what we're gonna call them. But that's gonna get things started for us here across the state or the city of Birmingham. Then tomorrow here in the state of Alabama, you're gonna have your A-Day festivities, both down on the plains of Auburn as well as in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So very interested to see how those go and what the response is to a lot of those festivities, because as we know, they're not going to look the way they have in the past. They're not going to be your typical spring game affairs where you get to go and watch the team scrimmage. It's going to be a lot of drills, more of just an open practice session. So how do the fans respond to that? What does the attendance look like? All of that's going to be very, very interesting to see. You have the Birmingham Bulls in the playoffs, and you also have the Birmingham Legion with a game on Sunday night, fresh off of replacing their head coach. So a lot of big things going on here across the city of Birmingham. Hope you're able to get out and support some local sports here this weekend. But I know something that's probably going to keep a lot of people inside this weekend and on the couch and taking maybe a few more naps than usual is the Masters. Because this is a weekend that I know many of us, one of our favorite weekends of the entire sports calendar. And so we are going to get underway there from Augusta National here and momentarily for day 2 of the tournament. So let's start off with a recap, why don't we, of what happened yesterday, day 1 of Augusta. And if you are in a Masters pool or you are just a really big fan of Justin Rose and have followed him for his entire career, you were very happy with the results that you had yesterday. So Justin Rose, after day 1, atop the leaderboard with a 3-stroke lead, in fact. But Justin Rose, he shoots a 65 yesterday, 7 under to lead the tournament there through day 1. You have 3 players tied there at second right now, sitting at 4 under. Of course, everyone's favorite, Scotty Scheffler, tied for second there at 4 under. You also have Corey Connors and Ludwig Oberg at 4 under. Then tied behind them at 3 under, you have Tyrell Hatton and Bryson DeChambeau. Moving down a little bit more, you have tied at 2 under, you have Aaron Rai, Harris English, Jason Day, and Akshay Bhatia, all tied there at 2 under. Let's see, scrolling down here, just going through some notables. You've got Victor Hovland, he's tied at 1 under. Bubba Watson, he's there at 1 under. Patrick Reed, 1 under as well. Freddie Couples, he's 1 under. And if you missed it, he had, for my money, he had the best shot that I saw yesterday at the tournament. He had a 191-yard eagle attempt yesterday. It was absolutely phenomenal. And everybody, it was just one of those moments where everybody lost their mind. And, it's the Masters. So, people get excited and they cheer for things. But on day 1, for, Freddie Couples to go out there and, at the age that he is to go out there and play like that. Just remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Let's see. You have Colin Morikawa. He's there at even par for day one. Justin Thomas at 1 over, or excuse me, Rory McIlroy also at even par. I know, besides Scotty Scheffler, he was the most popular pick to win the Masters this year for the first time in his career. So he finishes the first day at even par. Justin Thomas, the Alabama product, he's there at 1 over. Jordan Spieth, 1 over par as well. Xander Schauffele, 1 over par. I know he's a popular pick for a lot of people as well. So all in all, a good first day there at Augusta National. Unfortunately, if you follow us along on Three Man Front where we're doing our Masters competition, I'm going to lose after the first day. I can pretty much just go ahead and that one's already decided because I went out on a limb a little bit and I took a
Don't tell me.
flyer on a golfer from the University of Alabama.
Oh boy.
Who goes by the name of Nick Dunlap. Great kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you have looked at the leaderboard, so the lowest the leaderboard goes from yesterday is +7, where there were 5 guys that finished +7. Oh, wait, actually, no, sorry. There's one below that, and it's Nick Dunlap, who finished 18 over par.
It happens.
18 over par.
So not the best of starts.
No, and look, and I feel bad for him. No one hates that more than he does. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, he finishes 11 strokes behind second to last place. Not 11 strokes off the lead, 11 strokes off of the person in second to last place in the tournament. So yeah, really rough day for Mr. Dunlap there yesterday. And yeah, so I'm done. I lost that competition on Three Man Front. That one's already set in stone. But yeah, rough day for him. But you do have Patton Kazir, who is a Auburn graduate. He finishes at 7 under there. So you can hold on to that, Auburn fans. Your golfer was only the second worst yesterday. Alabama had Mr. Dunlap go 18 over par. So
it's all good, man.
But
do you think that
it happens?
You think he can get enough, gain a little bit more ground today?
No.
Oh.
I don't have.
Oh.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I just at this point just don't lose too much more ground before the cut. So yeah, that's
can it get worse?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it can.
But will it?
I said the same thing. I mean, literally every 5 minutes yesterday on the show, it was an update of, oh, he bogeyed. Oh, bogey. Oh, bogey. Okay, it is. It is what it is. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Augusta's not an easy course, but yeah. So there you go. Again, if you're just now joining us on Morning JOX, Justin Rose sits atop the Masters leaderboard after day one, sitting there at 7 under. Scotty Scheffler tied for second at 4 under. So that's going to get underway here in a little over an hour. We'll have guys starting to tee off there. You're going to have Justin Rose, your leader. He will tee off here at, I can't tell if these times are Eastern or not. It looks like he's going to tee off at 7:52 this morning. You're going to have Scotty Scheffler. He's in the afternoon today, a little after lunchtime around 12:23. So just some notables there to keep your eye on over in Augusta. All right, we do also have some baseball that went on last night, and if you stayed up for it, kudos to you, because not only did it go to extra innings, but it had a nearly 3-hour rain delay as the Philadelphia Phillies and Atlanta Braves did battle last night. So the game's tied at 1-1. They go into a rain delay. It takes a little over 2.5 hours for play to resume there, and you had the Philadelphia Phillies. So first off, it stays tied at 1 all the way through. They go to extra innings. They go through the 10th inning. Nothing happens. You get to the 11th inning. Phillies get the bases loaded. Braves walk in a run. Man, all right. Because you feel for the fans that you're like, okay, so we waited through, not only are we here in extra innings, we waited through this rain delay, and now bases loaded. You walk in a run for the Phillies. So it's 2-1 Phillies. You go to the bottom of the 11th. And if you remember, extra innings, you get the guy that starts on second base. And this is how it sounded when Austin Riley stepped up to the plate for the Atlanta Braves. There you go. That was actually the a little bit later on. So you had Austin Riley that hit a double to tie the game at 2. Then Marcel Ozuna comes up next, and he hits the walk-off home run that you heard right there as the Braves walk off the Philadelphia Phillies 4-2 in 11 innings after a 2.5-hour rain delay. So Atlanta, they now move to 3-9 on the season, which again I understand it is not where you want to be, but winning a series against the Philadelphia Phillies, who outside of, I would say a couple of teams, perhaps the Dodgers and maybe the Padres in the National League West, I would say the Phillies have a strong argument they're the best team in baseball besides those two teams. So to get a series win there, hopefully gives you a lot of momentum moving forward for the Braves. So yeah, awesome to see them pull off the 4-2 victory last night there in walk-off fashion. But with the delay, with the extra innings, as you hear him say, the game didn't end until after midnight. And so you have a quick turnaround today where you are traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Rays in a 3-game set there. So first pitch going to be 6:05 tonight there for the Braves and the Rays. And yeah, do me a solid, Rays. Yeah, take out American League East opponent for my Yankees. I would appreciate that. But this is what you needed to see if you're a Braves fan right now. If you can roll together another series win here in Tampa Bay, you got to start feeling good about this team finding their spot, right, and finding a way to cobble together a couple wins while you still wait for Strider, Acuna, and some of the other guys to come back. And I know the situation with Profar, you never expect a guy to get hit with an 80-game suspension, but that's just the way that the start of the season's been for the Braves, unfortunately. But hopefully getting a little bit more back on track now, Damian.
Yeah, and that's the thing about baseball. It's a marathon. It's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. And we've seen the Braves in recent years that may have looked a little shaky before the All-Star break, and then all of a sudden, when July rolls around and the back half of the season, they really lock in. So again, you're not at 100% right now. You just want to stay afloat till you get your superstars back, and expect it. When they come in, they'll be ready to go. But yeah, it's good to get on the winning side of things in a series, and it's in a divisional opponent as well. Nobody really likes the Phillies as much, especially not in the NL East. So all in all, you'll take it. You're at least feeling a little more optimistic than you did, on the West Coast trip to start the season off.
You're absolutely right there. So Braves again, first pitch coming up tonight, 6:05 as they take on the Rays. But good job for the Braves managing to win 2 of 3 from the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, so tomorrow we do have A-Day festivities. What's going on down in Tuscaloosa? What's going on in Auburn? I know we've gotten some questions, so we're going to try to fill you in, just give you a rundown of what the events, what the schedule is going to look like for those festivities, because I know a lot of you are expecting or planning to take the time to go down there, whether you're an Auburn or Alabama fan. So we'll dive into that, share a little bit of what we're hoping to see outside of the quarterbacks. I think we all know the quarterback spot is the most intriguing for both Auburn and Alabama. But what are some things me and Damian are looking to find out about these programs over the weekend outside of the quarterback spot? And we want to hear from you as well. Are you planning on making the trip down there? What are you hoping to see? What are your expectations for the new format, the way that the festivities are going to be operated? We would love to hear from you. 205-834-9450. That'll get you on the courtesy GMC text line. We're going to dive into a little bit of spring football action. We return here on Morning JOX and JOX 94.5. 619, welcome back in. Morning JOX here on JOX 94.5. Appreciate you spending your Friday morning with us, getting set for the weekend. A little bit warmer today, or low 50s, waking up this morning. So going to get a little bit warmer around the Birmingham area today. Hope everyone, some bad storms last night, so hope everyone stayed safe. Just got some rain at my house, but I know there were some severe thunderstorms across the state of Alabama last night. But the good news is it looks like it's going to be all sunshine tomorrow, where you have A-Day festivities going on for both Alabama and Auburn. And honestly, one of the more popular questions that we've had about these events recently is not so much about, a specific player or a specific position group or side of the ball. It's what's going on? Like, what are they even doing? Because of these modified spring game formats now, people don't really know what to expect. And so we want to try to lay that out for you real quick before we get into some of the things that we're hoping to learn from both Alabama and Auburn this weekend. But we will start there on the plains of Auburn. So tomorrow you are going to have your Tiger Trails induction. That's going to kick things off at 9 a.m. tomorrow. They're going to follow that up with an alumni flag football game at 11 a.m. Immediately following the flag football game, they're going to do the A-Day spring practice is what they're calling it. That's going to run from 12 to 1 to 1:30-ish. And then after that, they're going to do their fan day at Jordan-Hare, where you're going to be able to go and get your autographs, things like that as well. And admission is free for both of them, for both Auburn and Alabama. If you're going down there, you don't have to pay for tickets. Just, go down there, pack up the kids, pack up the wife, whatever, and go enjoy some spring football. So that's what's going on for you on the plains of Auburn tomorrow. On the Alabama side of things, they're opening up. They're doing the Walk of Fame ceremony at 10 a.m. at Denny Chimes there on campus tomorrow. They're also going to be doing autographs with some of the men's and women's basketball team at the same time there at 10 a.m. Then at 11 a.m., the gates are going to open to Bryant-Denny. They're giving out a limited edition A-Day poster for the first 5,000 fans to walk through the gates. Then at 11:35, you're going to get the Walk of Champions. At noon, they're kicking off the A-Day practice. And then immediately following that, they are going to have their autograph session, but that is for Yay Alabama members only, from what I understand. So if you want to go and meet your new favorite player and get his autograph, you're going to have to sign up because Ryan Williams isn't signing that football for free.
No, can't do that. Can't do that.
And I will say this is another very popular question. Maybe the second most is Ryan Williams going to play or participate in the spring practice for Alabama? And to that, my answer would be that's a good question, because we do know Kalen DeBoer said last week that he's, got some nicks here and there, just things that he's picked up over the course of the spring. And so they're limiting him for the rest of the spring. So I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what that means in terms of how much you're going to see of him. I'll say you're not going to see him a lot if you do see him. But, it is to be seen if you will get to see him on the field at all. But I know they're obviously going to be very, very careful with a guy like that. I mean, you know what you got, right? You don't need him to go out there in a spring practice and impress anybody. We all know how talented he is. You just want to make sure he's 100% healthy for the fall, and that is what they're doing. So I do know as well for Alabama tomorrow, though, but if you are going to stay on campus and you just kind of want to make a day of it, they do have a track and field event at 10:30 a.m. there on campus if you want to do that as a pregame for A-Day. You also have Alabama taking on Mississippi State at 2 p.m. and Alabama softball. How about this one? Alabama versus Oklahoma softball there at Rhodes Stadium tomorrow at 3 p.m. So you can just kind of make a day of it tomorrow if you are headed down to Tuscaloosa. So a lot of great festivities going on there. All right, Damian. So for you, since we're talking about Alabama, we'll start with them and then we'll get to Auburn. Outside of the quarterbacks, because, we all very interested to see what goes on there. When you think of Alabama and what we're going to hear coming out of this A-Day event tomorrow, what is the one thing maybe you need to hear to feel more confident about Alabama? Somebody that maybe you've heard about so far in spring practice that you just really want to see what they look like with your own eyes. what is Damian Mitchell looking to take away from Alabama A-Day tomorrow?
I mean, it's simple. It's the wide receiver position. I want to see how Isaiah Horton fits in with this system. And again, it's early on. It's the spring, but I would like to see what the juice looks like at the receiver room, because you lost a couple guys in the transfer portal, and just kind of see what the depth looks like besides Ryan Williams. We know what to expect from Ryan Williams and his playmaking ability. Jeremy Bernard, does he continue to develop and being just that leader of that receiver room? But also Isaiah Horton, where does he fit in this Kalen DeBoer offensive system? And kind of just look at how much depth do they have? How many explosive plays do you see the quarterbacks kind of rip out to them, and just see what they do with the ball in their hands? And I think that a lot of it's probably you got to see what the offensive line looks like as well, because that's one of the more notable groups that you have to get it solidified early, so you'll know what to expect when fall camp rolls around, of okay, how many reps are we going to get these guys in live scrimmages and things like that, because you only learn so much in drill work, especially in the lineman position. But I think for the receiver room, it's okay, how many true playmakers are there if God forbid something happens to a Jeremy Bernard or a Ryan Williams? Do they have kind of like the I'm not saying they're in the same boat with the Jerry Judys and Henry Ruggs and those things, but can they play multiple positions within the receiver room? Like, can one of them slip inside, get a couple reps there, work outside, get some reps out there as well? So just the fluidity and the depth of the receiver room.
Yeah, I think wide receiver is definitely something that a lot of people are interested to hear about, because outside of, a lot of the focus has been, well, how are the quarterbacks looking? Have they created any separation? But one of those guys outside of that room that you've consistently heard very, very good things about is Isaiah Horton, the transfer from Miami. I'm also incredibly excited to get a look at Latsier Brooks, because that's another guy that you've heard so many good things about. He's a younger guy, but he may or may not have leaked some of his own film on social media the other day, and that kid's pretty nice. So
yeah, he's very fluid.
Yes,
he's very fluid.
Absolutely, yeah. He's like, yeah.
He's got a little wiggle to him.
I'll let you see what I'm working with here a little bit. So, yeah, I think that's a guy that you could see factor in for Alabama, because, again, I understand it's spring practice, but some of the stuff you see from him, it's like you just can't keep certain people off the field, and he may find himself in that situation this year, and that would certainly be a good thing for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I would also say I think defensive line, because that was an issue where, even going back to the way they did the spring game last year, where you could tell there were maybe some deficiencies, and that was somewhere that you were going to be hurting for depth. And you just, the reality is, I don't know if Alabama has, one of those big time disruptive forces. I know LT Overton did that a lot in terms of getting pressures last year, but he's got to find a way to finish more of those sacks. But you don't have your Dallas Turner, your Will Anderson kind of guy. Now, maybe there's someone on the roster that we're just waiting to see bloom into that, but right now we don't seem to have that guy if you're looking at this Alabama roster. And so what is the defensive line going to look like? What are some of those guys? Your Noah Carters, your Keon Keeley, some of these guys that have now had time to develop more and continue to develop, and you hear good things about them, but what is it going to look like on the field? All right, now on the other side of things, we do have the Auburn Tigers and their A-Day festivities as well, Damian. So for you with Auburn, outside of the quarterback position, I know, again, the wide receivers, what does Singleton look like in the offense? Things like that are very, very exciting. But I'm kind of interested as well in what we get from the running back position, because you have 3 or 4 guys that with Cobb and Alston and Henderson, who you brought in through the portal, a lot of guys who can contribute. I'm just interested to see, is there someone that's kind of separated themselves from the pack? Are we headed for just a running back by committee all year long? I think that's a very interesting spot for Auburn going into A-Day as well.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was another position group for Auburn I'm interested in seeing, because of the fact that, you had a bell cow in Jarquez Hunter last year that you knew was going to get the majority of the carries. And now it's, okay, well, they may not be, individually on the same level as Jarquez Hunter, But Damari Austin, who played a lot of ball last year for Auburn, Jeremiah Cobb get some spell run into it last year as well. So how many reps do they get? What does it look like for them in the backfield? And again, get the transfer at Henderson, see how he looks. In the SEC now. And I think that another position that I'm looking at, literally the other side of the ball, is just the entire defense for Auburn. What does it look like in year 2 under DJ Durkin? Because you look at last year with a lot of young guys that were forced to play, they kind of kept Auburn in a lot of the ball games, even with them being so young. And now you get another year, you go through another spring cycle, and just to see how, if they've gotten bigger, if they've gotten faster, stronger, and just see how they pursue to the football with the lights on, with fans and in the crowd and things like that. So of course everybody's gonna look at what Jackson Arnold can do, what Deuce Knight looks like at the quarterback room. But I think you will learn more about them when fall gets here. But in the spring, you're kind of looking at some of the depth. It's like, okay, well, this guy didn't really hear much about him last season or so. But who kind of steps up defensively? Of okay, we know what Keldrick Falk is going to be, but now it's okay, another year with DeMarcus Riddick. See what he looks like. That defensive line return to some key bodies and things. So I think overall the entire defense, and also if I'm looking at the offensive side of the ball, it's primarily the running back position, because I know what the receivers are going to do, at least talent wise. They should be better than what they were last year, and they were pretty good last year if they had a quarterback that consistently give them the ball. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the position group I have the least questions about,
right.
as far as Auburn goes, and I think you could make a good case for Alabama as well, that maybe is one of the position groups you feel the best about. So a lot of wide receiver talent here across the state of Alabama, no doubt about it. All right, but that's just some of our thoughts, what we're looking for from Alabama and Auburn. Their A-Day festivities getting underway tomorrow. But we want to hear from you as well. What are you most interested to hear? What are you waiting to hear about your favorite team, whether it is Auburn or Alabama? Or maybe you're just really not that gauged because you have other things that you're focused on this week, and maybe you're just so fired up for the Stallions game tonight you haven't even started to think about A-Day. You'll deal with that when tomorrow comes. Maybe you're somebody that you plan on, you're not leaving your couch the entire weekend because you're watching the Masters. You already took yesterday off work. You're off work today. You're not going to work the next 2 days. You're just going to be watching the Masters. So we want to hear from you, 205-834-9450. What are your weekend plans involved in the sports world? What are you most excited for? Where are you going to be this weekend? So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Stallions game coming up tonight. We have somebody waiting patiently on the phone lines who was there last night at the home kickoff celebration there for your 3-time defending champion Birmingham Stallions. So that, much more, your text, your calls, all coming up here on JOX 94.5. 6:35. Welcome back in. Morning JOX here on JOX 94.5. Conrad and Damian with you, getting you set for McElroy and Kublik in the morning coming up here from 7 to 10. Then from 10 to 2, I'll be back for three-man front. Pat and Landrum going to be out at Twin Peaks and Hoover today for day 2 of the Masters. So if you're looking for a lunch spot today, go on over to Twin Peaks and Hoover, say hello to the guys, and watch a little golf. So that's what we have coming up for you today. And of course, Paul Feinbaum from 2 to 6 here every weekday as well. So, but last night there at the Finnick downtown, you did have the home kickoff as well as the championship celebration for your Birmingham Stallions, who are getting ready to giddy up and get on their way over to Protective Stadium tonight as they will host the Arlington Renegades and Mr. Bob Stoops in the home opener for the Birmingham Stallions. Stallions 1-1 on the season, looking to get to 2-1. We had Coach Skip Holtz on the show, or on three-man front earlier this week. He let us know Alex Magoo still injured after getting hurt on the first play of scrimmage last week against Michigan. So Matt Corral is going to be starting at quarterback for the Birmingham Stallions tonight. So hotty toddy and giddy up. But last night at the Finnick, somebody that was there in attendance, our good friend Don. So Don, last night, how was the crowd? Was everyone fired up and welcoming back Skip Holtz and his Birmingham Stallions?
Absolutely, Conrad. A good crowd. Landrum came down and joined us and got all y'all's stuff for tonight for you guys. And I do want to remind y'all to please come by our tailgate if possible. I know y'all got a lot going on today.
Absolutely. Well, if you want, Don, you can tell. I don't know if you want to invite just all of the fine folks at JOX 94.5, but if you want, you can tell everyone how they can hang out if they want to come tailgate tonight.
Absolutely. Now the food that we got is limited, of course, and everything. And I want to thank some of your sponsors for donating the food. Taylor and David at the Ridge, Social Taco, Soho Social. I'm doing it from Stakeout. Then I got another establishment who's not a sponsor, y'all, so I can't mention them. But anyway, it's going to be on the in the graveled lot. It's called the Green Lot, Conrad and Damien, and we're down in the grassy area right by the street, kind of catty cornered to the uptown. But it starts at 4, and we're going to do it till 6:15 for everybody can get in and watch them put the good old third straight championship banner up at the upper level.
All righty. Well, there you go. That should be a fun time tonight, Don. Looking forward to it. Quickly, so for tomorrow, so are you going to be down at Auburn or oh no? You said you are not. You're going to be at Alabama doing a delivery, aren't you?
I can't go, buddy. I got to go to Tuscaloosa tomorrow afternoon. I know you mentioned track and field. I got to feed the Troy track
That's
team,
right.
and we also got a Citadel's play in Sanford baseball. We got to feed the Citadel baseball team also. But Conrad, sorry about your boy Nick Dunlap yesterday. Landrum was laughing about that, said you were about to have a fit in the studio yesterday.
Yeah, that was a rough one to watch my hopes and dreams crash and burn on day 1 of the Masters. But hey, it's all right. I backed up my Alabama guy, and it didn't work out. It is what it is. It happens.
Well, you still got a couple in Davis Riley and JT still in there. And hey, my guy finished next to last, Conrad, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, he was still 11 strokes ahead of my guy, unfortunately, Don. But that's just that's the way it works.
Well, hey, real quickly on the Auburn, I don't mean to correct y'all, but Alvin Henderson's the freshman. The transfer is that Robertson kid from Connecticut.
Oh, is it not Darrell? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. I did get I got the last names wrong. His first name's Darrell. I knew that.
To answer your question about the running back, it looks like Demarion Austin's going to be the main guy, and then followed by Cobb. I've been waiting for. Austin's had a good career, but I've been waiting for Cobb to do something, and I got a good feeling. But the talk of the camp on the offensive wise, guys, is the freshman Sam Turner. We got a gem in him, and he was a 3-star.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out tomorrow. But appreciate you calling in, Don. Excited for tonight. Hope y'all have. There's a good crowd at Protective Stadium, and giddy up.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys.
Absolutely, Don. Appreciate you calling in. So there you go. If you're going to the Stallions game tonight and you've ever wanted to meet the one and only Don, there's your opportunity. Gravel lot 4 o'clock. Sounds like something you'd say in school when you're going to go fight somebody. But it's
gonna meet him at the gravel lot 4 o'clock.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Don would fight you. I don't know. But
Maybe
yeah,
like a Renegades man.
if you want to, if you want to go do that. So, but yeah, kickoff tonight, 7 p.m. there at Protective Stadium for the Birmingham Stallions. Get there a little early, as Don said. You can watch them raise up their third straight
Let's go.
championship banner for what it's worth, going for 4, and hopefully going to be sitting at 2-1 after the game tonight. So a lot of great things going on around Birmingham, but something that we're going to go to break here, and something that I did want to give a good amount of time to. We'll read your text, but we have to talk about what's going on with what I thought was Damien's favorite football team, but he's been surprisingly silent about this as a potential quarterback negotiation going on in the SEC. If you missed it, we'll tell you what's going on and who is holding his team hostage this spring at the quarterback position. That's next here on Morning JOX.
6:45 here on Morning JOX, JOX 94.5. Damian Mitchell alongside Conrad Van Order. Getting you set for the top of the hour with McElroy and Kublik in the morning. Talk about some Masters performances. Let me tell you about some performance off the field or off the course. Let me tell you about our friends at Blue Chew. All you got to do is go to bluechew.com. And if you know, you know. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but it's in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. It's performance enhancement for the bedroom. It can help men gain extra confidence when it's time to perform. It's an online prescription service, so you ain't got to worry about going to the doctor and having those awkward visits, and no waiting in line in the pharmacy because it ships right to your door. And how about you get it for free? If you go to bluechew.com right now, you get your first month free when you use your promo code JOX at checkout. The only thing you have to pay for is the shipping. And again, it's bluechew.com, promo code JOX, J-O-X, to receive your first month free. Get ready to turn oh no into oh yes. Again, it's Blue Chew. It's in chewable form. Don't have to worry about going to the doctors. Their licensed medical professionals will get you right and get you the strength for your prescription. And listen, if you didn't hear it from anybody else, you heard it from me. Just chew it and do it.
Well, someone that needs help with their performance is Nico Iamaleava.
I don't know
because
if Blue Chew can help with that one.
Oh yeah, no, not talking about that. I'm talking about on the football field. Because last year, certainly not. I don't think the production that Tennessee fans like Damian were expecting for him last year. So 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and all that cost you was cool. What, $2.5 million? And so we had some reports coming out of Knoxville yesterday that Tennessee and quarterback Nico Iamaleava are in active contract negotiations. It is unclear based on the report if these discussions will have any impact on the spring portal, indicating that maybe there's a small scenario out there where Tennessee doesn't hit the number that Nico wants them to hit, and he finds himself entering the transfer portal here because that is about to open up after spring ball is done. I would be absolutely shocked if that did happen, but I will say, as far as this situation, this is one of my least favorite parts of college football. And I know that this is not the first time that this has happened, but the fact that it is being shared now. Well, first off, I'll say this. I feel like the fact that this is coming to light, either someone in Nico's camp or someone on the Tennessee side of things made it so that this information was out there. In my opinion, that's probably what we're looking at here. But I don't know which side you would do that from a standpoint of, okay, if you're Tennessee, maybe you do that to put a little bit of pressure on him and be like, hey, look, this kid's trying to renegotiate and get more money out of us. That doesn't look so good. And then so maybe you're trying to force his hand a little bit. But is that really what you want to do in this situation where, I mean, without Nico, what are you looking like for this upcoming fall, right? Like, I don't see another guy that's in the transfer portal right now that you're going to get out and is going to, make the fan base have the confidence going into this fall that Nico's going to give you. But then on the other side of it, do you want to be held hostage by a guy that underperformed for you last year? Let's call it what it was, right? I mean, he barely had over 100 yards passing, didn't even complete 50% of his passes in the playoff game against Ohio State last year, and you got embarrassed. I mean, he threw for over 250 yards twice last year. Twice.
In a system that's geared for you. Like, it's tailor-made for you to throw it all over the yard.
100%. And you threw for more than 250 yards twice last year. And look, I understand coming out of high school, Tennessee committed a lot of money to this kid. And I understand, and for his right, that is the deal that he signed. So he is obligated to that money if that is what Tennessee committed to him. But don't now, after you have 1 year of sitting on the bench and then a bowl game, and now another year where, yes, you did get your team to the college football playoff, and that is a good accomplishment, but you didn't do your part. You did not reach the heights that you needed to reach so that your team could be the best version of Tennessee last year that was possible, because we never saw that version of Tennessee because of Nico and his inability to complete passes down the field. And so now you want to go back to the drawing board and ask for more money after you underperformed, right? Because that's the whole thing with NIL. You go out there, you create value for yourself. What do all the coaches say? Go out there, create value for yourself. The rest is going to take care of it. You didn't create value for yourself last year. You let people down. You let your fan base down. You did not reach the expectations, and I know that he would not throw his own player under the bus, but I guarantee you, if you hook up Josh Heupel to a lie detector and you say, did you get from Nico Iamaleava, did he meet your expectations? Did he do what he needed to do to elevate your team last year? The answer is no, and everyone knows it. And now you're going to try to hold him over the barrel for a few extra $100,000 because, oh, well, the quarterback from Tulane that went to Duke is getting $3 million a year. He produced for his team last year. He performed at a level. He exceeded the expectations of what they wanted for him last year. And I hate this situation, and I said this yesterday on Three Man Front. I actually feel bad for Josh Heupel and that coaching staff in this situation, because what do you do, right? Because you have, at this point, you have to pay him. You can't let him leave and then not have a quarterback in 2025. So you have to roll the dice. You have to give him what he wants. But this whole idea of you're getting paid millions of dollars before you've earned a damn thing in college, and then you get that opportunity on the field and you don't perform, and now you want more money? Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I don't know how you feel about it, Damian, but this makes me mad.
Yeah, it's the introduction of, okay, Nico, this is welcome to the real world. This is grown man discussions that we're having with you, because one, we can change the wording of a contract. Like, we can adjust some things, but also, like, to your point, you almost decreased in value because of what your performance on the football field was. And if you're Tennessee, it's like, hey, we got to make some amends. We got to change some of this fine print so it's equitable on both sides of it. Because again, when you look at what Nico was doing on the football field, if Dylan Sampson wasn't in the backfield for Tennessee, the whole season looks different.
Yep.
It looks completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that now, people are worried if he might get into the spring port. If you're Tennessee, it's all right, big dog, this is where, they can draw a line in the sand of saying, hey, we're not going to give you this amount of money.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it ends. And I don't think it's beneficial for Nico to try to pigeonhole, the team that pretty much gave you everything that you wanted. You didn't honor your side of the deal.
You signed a contract. You need to hold up your end of the bargain.
Exactly.
They gave you a certain amount of money, and you agreed to that certain amount of money, and now you want no.
Exactly. It's like the last thing. If it's something different, if you would have gone out there and put up Hendon Hooker numbers, then it's like, okay, well, yeah, Tennessee's time to pony it up. They got to do what you got to do. Do
you expect Tennessee to put that money in your bank account? Okay, well, then I'm sure they expect you to uphold the contract that you agreed to sign. It doesn't matter if you now have buyer's remorse over that because you were 17 or 18 years old. That's life as an adult. You want to be treated like an adult. These are the things that are going to happen. And I'm not going to shed a tear for a guy that, wants to go from being paid $2 million to $3 million or whatever for a year of college football. No.
And then you kind of don't really have the leverage if you're Nico, if you decide, say if it doesn't work out and you hit the transfer portal. Well, the tape that they have on you is from Tennessee, where the offense is literally made for the quarterback to succeed. So if you're a team sitting there thinking, yeah, he's got the talent, but my offense is kind of, we're middle of the road, middle of the pack, where Josh Heupel's offense is known for explosive plays and the quarterback didn't get them. So why would I take the chance? If anything, you're probably going to be running the ball a little bit more. So you might have to put some weight on. So I think that it's going to do more damage than it is good if you're sitting there trying to, finagle your way into more money when you haven't produced your side of the bargain.
Yeah, it's just the world that we live in now, unfortunately. So we'll see how that progresses, and we'll, give you updates on what's going on with Tennessee and Nico. But yeah, just a weird situation there. But a lot of you chiming in with some of your thoughts. Let's see, Antoine, he chimes in. He says, Conrad on Savage mode this week. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Gotten chippy this week a couple times. Let's see. Fanboy says Nico's trying to force Tennessee's hand because he knows there's not another option in the portal and driving up the price. Yeah, I get it. I don't like it, but I understand why you would, be in that situation. Let's see. Somebody chimes in. They say there's plenty of room on our bandwagon, Damian. Boomer sooner.
Okay.
So you got Oklahoma. Wanting a little bit of Damian Mitchell fandom. Let's see. Chancellor chimes in. He says, love the music selection today.
I appreciate it.
Shout out Damian. Let's see. Yeah, some of you, more people chiming in, not a fan of what's going on with Nico. More love for the intro music. Where are the Rays playing now? Is it in Florida? They are playing at the Yankees spring training facility in Tampa. And where would you rank Nico in the SEC?
Middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack, yeah. I'd say that's about it. Well, that does it for us here on Morning JOX. McElroy and Kubik in the morning.